This is Groove Talk with Froggy Style.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Groove Talk. On this episode, I am joined by Steph and Mo, and they are both part of the Big Winter Classic.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome. So just, I guess, to start off, why don't you kind of give a little bit of background information on yourself and how you became involved with Big Winter Classic?
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm right from the beginning. This is Mo, by the way. Right from the inception, the little thought of it in Adrian's brain. Jay and I were there. So Jay, my husband, is part of Two Words Productions and has been a big part of Big from the inception, all the video. And I was just a tag along for the first couple years. And then how can you not love the festival? It's just so grassroots, punk rock, just indie, dirty, gritty, which is what I love so much about it, and the amazing caliber of bands that come in. So I was baptized into the love, the family of Big, and helped as a PM, project manager last year, and kind of just helping with everything, jack of all trades this year.
Awesome.
That was great.
Thank you. Yeah,
This is Stephanie. So I got involved with Big Winter Classic last year. So I work primarily on the big studio side. So I guess the first time I came was 2 years ago, and so my sort of baptism into Big was I was invited to participate by the designers who do the majority of the design work. Actually, like pretty much all the design work for Big, which is Hawk Design. They are amazing. If you haven't heard of them, they've done all the work for the past 3 years, I believe, on both the Big Studio and the primary Big Winter Classic Festival design. So props to them. But they brought me on last year to help project manage the Big Studio side. So what Big Studio does, it's the place where all things visual kind of collide with the rest of the festival. And so it's a space for expression and collaboration and showing off diversity. And basically what we do is we bring the visual art piece and we smash that together with the music side. So all the art that you see at the different venues, that's Big Studio. And each year it's looked quite a bit different. And it's going to look different again this year, which we can talk about later. But that's pretty much how I got involved in the festival. And you end up kind of doing a bit of everything,
I know.
right?
You become a jack of all trades.
Yeah,
you have
I'm
to help
studio
out with everything.
But also everyone kind of helps with everybody everywhere. We, it's a small team, so small team, big heart.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Oh, that's cute.
Awesome. So I guess just to kind of start off, what is maybe one of your favorite things about the Big Winter Classic?
How independent. I just love that it's just so independent, and all of our local bands get to be showcased, our Alberta bands, Canada, and then building up in the past 5 years. So seeing it from the inception, the very first, where I can't even remember how many bands we had, maybe 25. Adrian's going to get mad at me that I didn't memorize that. Sorry, Adrian. But then seeing it from last year, it was 100 bands from all over the world. We had a band actually apply from Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just was to see that people are applying for it and just how cool it is. I just, like we were talking about earlier, it's not formulaic. It changes every single year with what works, and it's kind of fluid and flexible and just super cool. I've always loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's similar for me, the fact that it is so fluid, it's constantly changing, and it's adapting to the environment. And I think everyone involved is just so excited about the local community, the national community, building community within all the different subsects of the city, that it's just so exciting to be a part of, because when there's new things that come up, within the lay of the land, if you will, whether that's political, social, music, whatever, we can kind of dovetail and try to bring something representative of that into the festival as well. Yeah. So the adaptability. And also the parties.
Yes. We party pretty hard.
Yeah, work hard, party hard, for sure.
I guess my role in Big for the first year was pretty much just that that party lady with the squinty eyes walking around and saying, "Hey, everybody." That was me. That was my role.
Party project manager.
Yeah.
Everyone having a good time?
Yeah, everybody having a good time. All right.
That sounds like the best role.
It is honestly the best role. I love it.
Yeah, that's like some of the reasons that I really kind of, like I said, I kind of hate to use the word, but fell in love with Big last year. It was my first time going, and I talked to Adrian, and just from talking to him and kind of the passion that he had for the festival, and also for building the music community, which is something that I myself am very passionate about, and that's why I kind of started this podcast. But it just kind of felt like our kind of like goals were similar. So that's one of my favorite parts about the Big Winter Classic for sure, is that community aspect. It kind of just feels like a big like family gathering almost.
Totally.
That's exactly what it is.
Totally.
It is a big family.
It is. It like the festival brings people together for sure. Like I've met so many of my like super close friends now by virtue of being involved in this like wonderful festival.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, I know it's gonna sound so cheese, but it's like a little bit life-changing.
It totally is. It is.
And it's just so nice to be around like-minded people who are like interested in the same thing and like want to grow community and just like music community, arts community. Like it's just fabulous. It's just wonderful. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. And it's really cool that Big has also added on stuff like Big Studio and stuff too. It's not just focusing on music. It's the art community of Calgary, which is really cool.
Yeah, and we're all so intercombined. Like, absolutely. And I'm not even an artist. I'm an artist groupie? I guess. Like, seriously.
Own it. Yeah, just own it. Yeah.
I love being around creative people. I do. And I'm trying to learn the drums. I'm not very good. So Tess from All Hands on Jane shout out to Tess. I love you. She's my drum teacher. And honestly, whenever I see her at a party and she's just rocking out, and the reason why I got her as a drum teacher is because I saw her at Big Slam, like, I don't know, 4 years ago. And then I had my daughter with me. I'm like, fuck, I want my daughter to be as cool as Tess. I want to be as cool as Tess. And so I'm going to learn how to play. We're going to learn how to play. And now we're all best friends. And it's just amazing that, like, and now we're friends with Hans, her husband, who's in the videography world. And then we became friends with, like, the Frog Fest people, which is another festival in the city.
Yeah, so cool.
And then all combining all this lovely jambalaya of musicians and artists and creative types that we all just gravitate towards each other. And I honestly feel like it's a big family. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's the real cool thing that I found as well about kind of like the Calgary, I don't want to just say music scene, but I guess art scene, is that it's very inclusive and people kind of go out of their way to help you out almost. And it's so different from like kind of the other communities I think that are out there where like maybe they seem a little bit more like cutthroat or something, but it's been just such a welcoming experience that I've even received from just like, because I'm not an artist really, I just kind of do this podcast, but
just a podcast, like groupie.
An integral part of building the community. You can't say my squinty-eyed smiles doesn't build the community Tito, right? Like, we're all building the community and supporting, and that's a big thing of just going out to the shows and supporting new artists and then showcasing new artists and local talent.
Absolutely.
So, like, where else are they going to play if we don't give them a venue to play at, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I guess, what is one of the things that you think Big Winter Classic has, I guess, really contributed to the arts community, like really given back in a way that kind of is maybe different from other festivals?
Well, I think kind of like what we were just saying, like it's a place to play.
Yeah.
It's a place to go and like show your art, whether that's music, whether that's, visual art, combining those, whatever that might be. It provides a safe space for people to play, experiment, build community. And it's so wonderful because like you come to the festival, and Mo and I were actually talking about this earlier. We were like, it's so neat because there's so many bands that you see that like I've never heard of. Like when the first like announcement of each year comes out, I'm like, there's so many bands. I'm like, who?
Yeah,
is
that's
that?
why I love the big
Like,
playlists.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
them.
Yeah, so it provides this opportunity for people and like bands and musicians and artists to get their name out there who might be just like getting a brand new start, and those are invaluable opportunities. You know, we're in a age now where, you know, there's like so much opportunity on the digital platforms. You can promote yourself, you know, on Instagram, on what have you, but actually to get out and play, that can be really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're always like, send it in, submit something. We'll see. Like we're changing every single year the kind of music that we're playing. We're trying to do new stuff, like present new artists.
It's so diverse.
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
you look at the lineup right now, you have country to funk to soul,
Yeah, absolutely.
to hard rock,
metal,
to
like-
metal,
Yeah.
to kind of screamo. Like there's like a
Yeah,
lot of
indie.
different indie.
It's all over
It's
the
all
place.
amazing.
But we try to, of course, like curate.
No, I know.
Like where you're gonna go, like we'll try to, you know, have it be like, oh, well, this sort of like tone will be together. So like go to there tonight, and you might be able to experience a couple bands doing the same thing.
Yeah. There's been a couple years that I've proposed to Adrian where could I just curate one night and it's all swamp
Yes.
swamp rock, like really gritty synth psych swamp rock.
I'm like, can I?
Yeah. And I'll get up on the drums and we'll go down. We'll
Cody's
get
gonna
down.
be there. We're
Yeah,
all gonna be there.
Like I want a Link Ray night. I'm really into Link Ray these days. I want like all swampy psych rock all night. And I don't know how much I have to pay to sponsor this stage of mine, but I will do it eventually. I will.
That's awesome.
All right.
Count me.
Okay, all right.
I'll donate to the cause.
There's so much music that I discovered last year through Big that I didn't know that I liked until I heard it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you walk into a room and you're just like, "Hi,
Yeah.
I love this."
Who's that?
And then all of a sudden it's your favorite band, right?
Yeah, no, totally. And like the amount of artists that I just discovered through kind of working media for Big last year and interviewing people and then also going out to see them, it was some of my new favorite artists are because I went to Big Winter Classic last year, which is like
I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Tell us. We want to know.
Gone Cosmic.
Of course.
so good.
Yeah, Gone
They're
Cosmic
so
was
good.
so awesome. Future Womb.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Michaela.
Long Time No Time also. I think those are the big three.
And I like how
those
they're
horns.
pretty local
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have like really found a love with local music, and especially since, and it was kind of, again, this is going to kind of sound cheesy, but it was because of Big Winter Classic last year that really kind of kicked off my whole local music journey. I was doing this podcast before, but I didn't really start to appreciate all the really good local talent until last year.
That's amazing.
That is so. I love hearing that. It makes my
Yeah.
heart grow a little.
I know. And the heart screw 3 times that day.
Oh, maybe go hard.
So I guess why don't we kind of talk a little bit more about the big studio? Was that was something that was new just last year, or
No, the year before.
the year before? Okay.
So this is our 3rd year, technically. I'm like 5 year, but 3rd year for studio. But we're all 5.
Yeah,
we're all
that's
5. But so it came into inception 2 years ago, so 2018. Well, that feels weird.
Yeah, I know.
2018. And so its original inception, so there was a big space that was opened up, and we were in the Jerry Thomas Gallery. So it's kind of this basement space that's right across the street from Broken City. You could easily miss it. So that was the very first year. We had a whole bunch of different artists do a bunch of the different installations within the actual venue, and it was a music venue as well. So we had lots of bands play there. I remember seeing the Chiverettes play there.
And Daniel Romano actually had some
Yeah.
art pieces as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And
Yeah.
it was so cool. So there was like actually regular. There's a cat here, distracting. I don't want to pet it. Okay. It was so cute. What was I saying? Different art.
yeah.
So we had like lots of art installations up on the wall. There was sculpture. There was multimedia, like interactive art. I know that there was a piece that was done also by Hawk Design, and they did this thing called Quadrants.
I love that.
Do you remember the Quadrants
yes,
piece?
Yeah.
And
What
it
was
was
your favorite part of why you lived in that part of the city?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right. So they
Yeah.
had this big, like they use like a projector. So like it's back to like 1995.
Yeah.
So and so that was really cool. That was the first year, and then after that, they were like, well, we need to grow. We all need to grow studio. What does that look like? So last year studio, we were like, let's like break it open. Let's bring it into all the different venues. So if anyone was at the festival last year, they might have seen these chain link fences all within the different venues. So what we did is we did a big artist call. We were like, we want, like, submit your art. We're going to put your art up on these fences. We would let everybody know, like, if you submit, you got to be able to, like, put it on a fence. It's going to be in the venue. But other than that, it was basically like, do whatever you want, submit your ideas, and, like, let's get you out there and visible and in the venue, so that people who are experiencing the music can also experience the art, and it gives that same sort of visibility and opportunity to the musicians as to the artists. So it was wonderful. It was really, really fun.
I bought like 5 pieces.
Did you really? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes, that's the idea. And so yeah, there was the opportunity, like they could sell their art as well. We're like, absolutely, get your social handles up on there. Like if you want to price it out, like do whatever you want, just like participate. And then we just kind of tried to curate the pieces to the venue. Based on whatever was submitted.
And also that last year we had the posters. So all like the special artists, we picked, or you guys picked whoever artist to do the venue posters. Because I know my friend Josh, who's a fantastic artist.
Right. Yeah.
He did the one
course.
for Bison, and so he did this big, huge
elephant?
mammoth.
Well, the mammoth, right.
And it was so gorgeous. I bought that one.
That one was super cool.
And just like that, and then there's a whole bunch of different people who did the posters for the venues.
Yeah, so some of them were studio artists. I think there was another side artist who I think Adrian worked with. I'm thinking of the one with the girl. It's like white and black. I'm having a brain fart. I'm not sure of her name off the top, but I don't think she was a studio artist. She was like an artist that we'd worked with previously.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Another
and same
opportunity.
with Josh. Josh was just a one.
Yeah, but that's Josh Veers, right?
No, his name is Josh.
Wrong Josh.
Yeah.
So I was like, is that the same Josh that did the wood?
No,
The wood.
no.
Okay, everyone's named Josh. Just kidding.
No,
More artists
yeah.
are better. But also a studio piece as well is so last year our kickoff party was called Big Bang. So we had a beer label contest, which was through Studio, where we basically put out a huge social call to anyone like, hey, design a beer label for 2 different beers that were going to be like it was called the Big Brew, and your designs could get on these cans. So a bunch of like tons of people. I think we had, oh my goodness, something like 40 different submissions with like, and some of them were like one submission, some of them were like 4, like so many people interacted. And then at Big Bang, which is also the announcement party, we had people come vote, and we had them all up within the venue itself. That was so much fun.
Little Destroyer played that and just absolutely just
Gone.
tore.
They ripped it up.
Tore the house down. It was
Gone
amazing.
Cosmic played.
Yeah, that's right.
They
Yeah,
were so
happy
sick.
music.
Port
Yeah.
Juvie too. They played as well.
Yeah.
That was such a fun event.
And so this year's contest for the beer cans, we could segue into that. You could put
Yeah.
your face on the can. So you could have your nice face actually illustrated, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, so that actually already happened.
Did it?
It already happened, yeah.
Oh,
So that
sorry.
was so that's okay. So it wasn't exactly like it was. So that was through Blind Man. So we just
Okay,
did a contest, and basically it was like you could get your face put on a beer can for Blind Man, which is so we have designs that are happening for beer cans again this year, but we took that part internal. So Hawk did all the designs for the beer cans. They look so sick.
Yeah,
they're
I
so
only
sick.
saw a couple of them, but
They're so sick. I'm so like they're really excited.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna see them and be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
There's hair, like my hair's blowing back with like whoa, mind blown. They're really, really, really dope. But the contest actually already happened. It just finished last week. But
yeah,
like,
it was the 12th.
good to bring it up.
The 12th.
Good to mention. Good to mention. But
I guess I didn't win. I don't know if I'm
didn't
allowed
win.
to win.
That's okay.
No.
But what we're doing this year, which is kind of, so every year we do the studio piece, we get artists in, but we wanted to try to do something a little bit different this year. And so we thought we would try to engage the arts community in a bit of a different way. So what we're wanting to do, because it's our 5th year, we're calling on artists to submit ideas for stage design.
So exciting.
So the actual like stages, like, so, you know, we're at Broken City, we're at Last Best, we're at Inner City. I'm not going to share the other ones because they're secret stages. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, if you went to the Big Empty Space party, then you would have seen one of the extraordinarily cool spaces.
Oh my gosh.
It's magical.
The coolest. If you weren't there,
it's cool.
you
missed out.
But yeah, so we're going to have some like cool pop-up spaces. But what we're doing is we want artists to submit ideas for curating design for the stage. So the bands will be playing in front of it, and we're like, you can't really get much closer, right? So if you're watching a band and you see like a cool art installation like as the actual stage design, like what could be cooler?
Yeah.
And this is like another thing we were talking about with like evolution, is that it's changing. We're like, what have we not done yet? Okay, well, we do have stage design every year, but we want to put it out there. Like maybe someone could come up with something super cool. So you should be watching our social media, Big Winter Classic and Big Studio, at bigstudio.ca, and then at Big Winter Classic. We're going to be putting out a call for artist submissions this coming week. So like, watch for that. And then you can have your designs like on stage. It'll be so cool.
Do you know what, listening to you talk about that, it just makes me so excited because that you became a volunteer 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these ideas are coming from our volunteer people who are part of the family. Mm-hmm. So like, it's just like these like people who are creative, and it's not like, no, you can't be part of the family. Everybody is welcome. Just like, come if you want to be part.
Yeah.
And like these ideas, these incredible ideas are taking life, you know? Like, I love it. I love it that... And you say that you're not creative. You're amazingly creative.
The old project manager dilemma. Imposter syndrome is happening. Like, I'm an artist.
You are an artist. I'm an artist groupie.
So I guess how do... For the stage design thing, so I guess what would people need to kind of submit to for the stage design? Like, is it just a drawing? Is it like, how do they submit their ideas, I guess?
That's a really great question. So what we're going to be doing is that there's going to be a submission process through the website. So we'll have the posting, it'll drive you to the website, and then we'll have like kind of like a fact sheet, which is similar to what we do every year, which will kind of give you all the specifics about what will be required, what we're kind of looking for, because usually we try to give people, you know, a framework to work within, but in our experience, when you just let people, let the creative juices roll, that's like when the coolest stuff comes. Mm-hmm. So like, I guess I kind of want to, we had one artist who did a installation at the Big Empty Space, which was our 2020 announcement party just a couple weeks ago. Don't get to know the space, but I'll tell you about one of the artists. Yeah. And her name was Barb Drake, and she got involved with us last year, and she's just so cool, and this person that is totally unassuming, unexpecting, and she ended up doing this crazy installation, and what it was like a hodgepodge like 1970s, 80s, 90s bedroom. So it looked like a teenager's bedroom.
And it felt so comfortable.
It
was
like
you just wanted to hang out in there the entire night.
People did. Like,
yeah.
She put like, you know the strings that you might have had in front of your door, like when you were a kid, like, and you walk through and it like makes all the like crinkle sounds or whatever. She made 90s reference, get ready. Mm-hmm. She made one of those out of pogs. Like pogs hanging through strings, you know, like with a slammer. The slammer. And like just brought in like all furniture. There was beds. There was like a bed, like dresser. Like she made
her record player that had the best records we were listening to. Because I was sad I couldn't go to Keithmas this year, so we listened to the Rolling Stones. We were listening to "Miss You." Do you remember?
Yeah.
We were dancing. It was good times.
So fun.
Good times. Yeah.
And like it was interactive. That was part of it too. Like, and just it was just wonderful. But like she also does this other kind of work with a whole bunch of like Barbies and like Kens, which you should look her up online. Like her stuff is a trip. She's on Instagram. I think it's like Drake5, barb.drake.5, something like that. And it's just really like kind of like strange and conceptual and kind of like this odd like pastiche. It's crazy. So I'm like thinking like, imagine if that was on a stage. Like that could be so cool. But like put it out there. We're going to let people kind of submit what they think could work. Obviously, we'll say, like, these are our primary stages, and kind of let it rock and roll from there, because it's worked for us in the past, you know. Say yes.
Yes.
Let the artist roll.
Yes. Oh, that's a good hashtag. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right.
Thanks, social. Taking notes.
No, that was a killer party though. I fell in love with my brand new favorite band, Strip Mall. Just fell. They were so good. So good. So good.
They were so good. We had a bunch of different people play. I think there were 6 bands. Who was it?
Yeah.
That was actually my first time seeing High Kicks play
Oh, really?
live. Yeah, first time live. They were outrageous. There was Strip Mall, King Bull, L'Omelette, Fox Opera, and House Hippo.
Oh yeah.
They were really good too.
Yeah,
All of them were fantastic.
Yeah.
We had a burlesque performance by Bellissima, who's a local burlesque artist, with Mason Jenkins played live. There was the late night show with BJ Killer of Rockin' for Dollars Broken City fame.
I love those little installations.
And then there was Barb Drake, Keith Scranstons.
Yeah.
I always want to say his name wrong. Scranstons, sorry, Keith. Scott Curtis put in an installation. Studio Pie Tattoo did an installation. It was fabulous. We had a huge swag wall for like all the 5 years, like different like pieces of memorabilia. We had like a find one, take one photo wall. If you like found your photo on the wall, you just like take it. And then the bus rides. You did the bus ride.
I did.
You ran the bus ride.
My husband and I were
Party
the
Mo.
bus captains. And I found my niche in life. I feel like I should just be riding party buses all the time.
I wasn't on the bus, but the video looked real. Yeah, it slaps.
We started it out, like we were trying to play some big winter classic alumni. And so we started off with Shout Out, 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 Out to get that bus rocking. We ended with Twisted Sister, but we would really love it. Dee Snider actually came and played. I don't know if he still plays, but we just figured that we'd have to end on that. But the bus was rocking back and forth. It was pretty fun. It was good times.
So cool. I wanted to be on
take
the
that
bus.
bus number 2. BJ with his bus number 2.
Whoa! I sense a rivalry.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a little bit of a rivalry there, I think.
Take that bus number 2. Love you, BJ.
And that's like one of the coolest things about Big too, is that there are like such different things. Like each year is unique, and all these little cool installations that pop up that you don't expect, and you just walk into something and you're greeted by this really unique thing that's just happening in front of you. Like, a memory that I have from last year is the Yonton Gat thing. Like just walking into Last Best and just him kind of being in the center of the crowd and like his double guitar.
That was insane. That was insane. Yeah, playing in the round at Last Best. I was like, what is
and the
happening?
Sorrel Rider singers. And so we had Darcy Turnenrobe and his father, who's an elder. And so just having them grace us with their performance was so amazing. Absolutely. And so that brings us back. So Adrian is always on the hunt for new amazing music. I've never met somebody who's so passionate about music. And so we all went down to South by Southwest a couple years ago, and that's where we saw Jonathan Gatt, and we all just fell in love with Jonathan. And we're just like, he has to come. We knew that he has to come. And another person we fell in love with is Ron Gallo.
Yes!
Yeah, so that was a South by Southwest find. And so constantly on the lookout, right? Like there's like people, and then we had Jay Som come and play, and like you can hear her everywhere on Sirius XM. Like, you know, like there's just so many talented people that Adrian has brought in and BJ have brought into the big family before they hit it big, and they've hit it big.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like just the amount of cool music that happens at Big is it's, like I said, there's just genres that I didn't even think that I would like, and then you walk in and it just like greets you, and it's like, this is my new favorite thing, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like kind of like that sense of like exploration and adventure while you're there, you know, you're walking between the venues, and you kind of like, oh, like, let's go see what's going on over here. And you walk in and it's just like amazing. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And like, that's why, I mean, this year, everything's much closer. Like everything is basically within like a 4-block radius. Yeah. Like it's like very, very Beltline centric this year, We did hits kind of every year.
Yeah.
But now everything, we made like a point to try to make it extra super
to make it
close.
easier on the visitor, there are shuttles as well. And so to make it accessible, the tickets early bird were $99 for 4 days of music. That's pretty amazing. So little plug here.
Yeah.
Try to get your tickets before
tickets.
January 2nd because they're going to go up. So they're $119 now for 4 days of music. Like nonstop, like it's just amazing.
Yeah, and then after that, from January 2nd onward, they're $139.
Yeah,
For,
which is still
for the full
affordable.
festival.
Yes.
So that's if you want to get a full festival pass. Now that we're talking about dollar bills,
Yeah.
the festival,
Dollar
those are the
bills.
pass prices. But what if you can only come for a night or 2 nights or what have you? So you can get day passes as well, and those range in price from $30 for a day pass up to $55, depending on which day you're going to go. I believe Thursday is $45.
I'm not sure I could pull it up right now.
And then Friday's $55. No.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday's $40. A pass for Friday's $55. A pass for Saturday's $55, and then a pass for Sunday is $30. So if you can only make it for one, or you only want to go to 2 days for whatever reason, maybe you're going, bouncing out of Calgary for whatever reason. In winter, leaving Calgary, oh my. There's options, but like get out and like enjoy the music.
And that's exactly it. It's the middle of winter. What else are you going to be doing? Like literally sitting in your sweatpants eating Cheetos?
I mean, that's good.
Which is not bad
But, like-
either. Watching The Mandalorian. Hey, I am
Whoa.
there. I'm there. But sometimes it's good to go interact with other people.
Yeah.
And listen
And
to
it-
some new music. Get the winter blues out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's so many festivals and things happening and wonderful things in the summer, of course, right? Like Calgary's beautiful in the summertime.
Yeah.
But we don't have the opportunity to like engage in that same way in the winter. And I think for the most part, people try to get out. Like think about how many times you're like, it's like February. It might be +2. Everyone's on a patio. We're like out there in parkas and snow pants. We're out. People get excited. So I think like this is just an opportunity like to grab people, get them out of their seats and like come out and have a party, listen to some live music, see some art.
Yeah.
Like what's not to like?
And
Get-
that the festival is outdoors. And honestly, from going for the past 5 years,
outdoor and indoor.
outdoor. No, I know.
Both.
Oh, sorry. we have to clarify. There's indoor venues. But the past 5 years, I think the coldest it's ever gotten is -10, and that was only one night.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. And like we've had Chinooks every time, and I don't want to jinx it, but the patio heaters on Broken City are pretty sweet. So much so when you're dancing really hard, you have to take off your coat. And so I'm just telling you right
beautiful
there. I know it is a beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Calgary.
Yeah, and well, it's something. I think people are like looking for something to do in the winter. There's so many
Definitely.
people who are just they're summer people. They have lots of things going on in the
Yeah.
summer, but then winter comes around and they hibernate essentially.
Yeah.
So it kind of fills that niche of just something that's happening in the winter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like people go skiing, snowboarding,
Yeah.
hit the slopes, whatever. But this is just another option.
Yeah.
Something else to do. You can ski anytime.
Yeah.
The mountains aren't going
But
anywhere.
then we could be an après ski. You could come après or ski if you would
could.
like. I could make you a hot toddy. Come find me. If you went skiing and I see you at Big, I'll make you a hot toddy or White Russian or something.
Now you're just gonna have to like carry around like milk. Is there milk in that? Yeah. Well, party project manager Mo. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm gonna hit you up for that later.
Okay, all right.
Even if I don't ski.
No, but you have to be après ski.
Okay.
It's only après ski. Or après snowboard.
You gotta put the boundary up somewhere.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
important.
And you might have to be wearing your ski garb as well. Ooh, that'd be
That's
cool.
good.
We should get as many 80s ski outfits as possible. I'll be making a lot of White
This should
Russian.
be a contest.
Yeah.
We're making ideas right now. It's happening.
Creative juices flowing.
You're part of the process, people.
Process. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you.
I guess maybe aside from what we've already kind of touched on, is there anything that's kind of really going to be different about this year's Big Winter Classic?
Oh, man. I don't know. It changes every year. Like, it literally does.
Yeah.
The big empty space is brand new and so fucking cool.
It really is.
It is so cool.
Like if you missed the party, like you
Yeah.
really missed out. It was outrageous.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it
a
was
really
so
cool venue. Yeah.
And you wouldn't know it, like it's downtown. We're not going to give away where it is. But, like, I walked by this place, like the outside of this place. I walked by it for years. It's in, like, a super busy street. You wouldn't know that it's there. You just would have no idea that, like, it looks the way it does on the inside, like, walking by it. So, like, having that venue and, like, being able to engage with that and, like, see, like, I wonder how we're going to morph that for the festival, what it's going to look like.
The little installment rooms.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so cool.
Yeah. I know. So the shuttles are new.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The shuttles are new this year. I guess what we're doing for studios is different than in previous years, but again, yeah, it's different every single year.
Yeah. And things might pop up too. Things tend to change on the fly.
Yeah. I guess we're still like a month and a bit out, so.
Yeah, like 6 weeks? 6 weeks? Holy moly. 6 weeks. That's going to come quick. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Now, is this something that you guys are thinking of all year round? Like, kind of like what you're going to be doing for Big Winter Classic?
Literally, I
much.
think Adrian, like, the minute it's over he takes a little rest.
Yeah, maybe like February would cool it for a bit.
Yeah.
February is cooled.
Yeah. But their brains are just constantly rolling what's going on. And then there's the summer big slam, or what do we called it, summer school.
This year was summer school,
yeah.
So this past, Summer Slam was the year before.
Yeah.
And 2 years before, wasn't it?
I think so. There was the summer slam that was on top of the national, and there was like a skateboard. They did.
That's right.
Skate, right? Is that the game that they play? And they do tricks. And
I think
they have
so,
to do
yeah.
certain tricks, and then they spell out skate.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And then there was the big slam that was in Inglewood, across the street from the breweries.
Yeah, Coal Garden, right?
Coal Garden, and that was a huge festival. And
then we did summer school this past July, which was super fun.
Yeah.
And again, like it was like it was very like funk heavy that day.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And that was at done on Citizen's outdoor patio, and the internal patio internal patio is not a thing. The patio outside, and then the inside space. And we also had, like, Mason Jenkins was there, and they do, like, he's a tattoo artist, but we were like, how can we bring in studio as well? And we're like, oh my goodness, what if he did, like, cool, like, school of rock, like, faux flash? But it was an all ages event for, I think, the first half of the event. Yeah. So it was like, we tried to make it look like super old school, and he came and he did, like, drawings on people that were, like, semi-permanent for the day.
Did you see the picture of Jude? My son Jude got a sweet tattoo, and he had, like, rolled up his shirt like a 50s greaser. He looked just so cute. Yeah. So it was pretty fun, and they had Dan, the one-man band, at the beginning for Ethan's birthday.
Yeah, so, like, this is classic Big Winter Classic stuff, too. So it was Ethan's birthday, so this is Adrian and Heather's son, oldest son. It was his birthday that day, so they were like, well, let's do, like, summer school and a 4-year-old's birthday party. And we're going to put them together. So then they did. So the day started off with the birthday party for the children's. The Dan, the one-man band, came and did, like, a really fun set for the kids. And there was a magician who came and played.
Oh, yeah, he was amazing.
He was really good. I'm at a loss for his name right now. Sorry. And then that sort of rolled into the musicians playing throughout the rest of the day. So basically, I think the day started at like 11 a.m. or maybe noon, and it went all the way until like 11 o'clock at night. And that was such a fun event. And there was this crazy windstorm that came in. Oh, yeah. I remember Be Less and the Suede was playing, and this. When like the ridge comes, when it's like a Chinook, and like you just look over the horizon and like there's like this black cloud, ominous coming. We're like, oh shit, oh shit.
It didn't last very long.
No, but the wind was going, and like that tarp was going, and I remember, like Bilas was playing, and he even like called out. He's like, "We gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. Like it's gonna go." And then like it just rolled over, like it missed us, but apparently it hailed like a son of a bitch downtown.
Oh really?
Yeah. We totally missed it because we're over at Citizen, so like excellent.
We're lucky.
Yeah, no, I was also at that event.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, that was a great, again, really cool bands that I just did not expect to be there, and I can't recall any of them, but I remember it was like this funk band or something.
Oh, was it Adequate! Exclamation
Oh,
mark.
yeah.
Clifton played.
Yeah,
And then
they played
collabed
together. Oh, yeah,
with
that
the
was
power clashing outfits.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
was
living for
so.
those.
That was
Living
so
for that
cool.
those outfits.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
like definitely my favorite part was them back to back. It was just
They
like
were great.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember who else. Thomas played.
Yeah, the Octopus Project. No, not Octopus Project. Sorry, no. That was big last year.
Oh no. With the
Project Blue Book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Project, I'm like with the alien masks. Yeah.
They made me a nice tinfoil hat.
We have photos of that. Check the
Yes.
socials. There's photos of Mo and I, like warding off the space
Yes.
invasion of our brains.
We were protected because of our tinfoil hats.
Yes, and Sweet Berry Wine played.
yeah.
That was amazing. Like that's the first time I'd ever seen him play, and like the whole band. That was. He's amazing to watch. Like
Yeah.
I was saying before, the joy on his face that comes out when he plays is like it's a pretty beautiful thing. Like it just makes you like it makes me smile. I can't not smile.
Yeah,
watching
it
him
makes your
play.
heart grow.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if it's if I was just like not involved in the music scene or whatever, or if it ever went away. But I feel like there's like some sort of like funk revival happening.
Yes, and I love it so
Yes.
much. Oh, I love funky bass lines
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
like
awesome.
deep bass. Oh, gets my loins girded. Is that a way? Loins girded? That's not right.
Quote
is
of the
it?
night. New hashtag loins girded. I'm living.
I'm not sure if that's actually a good thing or a bad thing.
No, but there's so much like funky like R&B and soul and stuff happening.
Yeah.
Swamp rock. I
Yeah.
want swampy.
Into the
Come on,
swampy,
everybody,
too.
bring me
well,
the
that
swamp.
kind of makes me think of it's not. I guess it's not swampy, but it makes me think of the Bobby Tenderloin universe.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I saw him open, or him.
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
Open for. We were at the show. We saw each other at the show.
Oh, Orville Peck.
Orville
and
Peck.
they actually toured with Orville Peck,
Yeah,
who
they
has
duetted.
gotten humongous.
He's massive. So
And,
cool.
Yeah, so they toured on the East Coast, like New York and Brooklyn, Philadelphia.
Yeah,
with
and
Orville.
It's so exciting. And the
I
Bobby
know.
Tenderloin universe. So he's from Edmonton.
So do you know much about the Bobby Tenderloin universe?
I'm
It's a
going-
beautiful universe.
I'm going to see them on
It's a-
Friday, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they're playing. Oh, I shouldn't talk about it. Yeah. But
Community, we're building community.
But like, I'm from Edmonton too, so I have some Dirt City grassroots in me as well. And so there's the Wet Secrets, and then way back in the day, Slow Fresh Oil, and like that's Lyle Bell, who's just like a pioneer and a visionary of the Edmonton music scene. And so they had the Wet Secrets, and then they have all these different permeations of the Wet Secrets. So there was, there's Bud Fraser and the Electric Razors, and then they have, I know Paul has a couple other different bands in the Bobby Tenderloin universe, and just like that's musicians, like they change instruments and then they're shouted out, which Lyle was part of, and Clint, and so like there's just all these different variations, and that I don't feel like there's an Edmonton and Calgary rivalry anymore.
Yeah, not really, no.
No, like I just feel like I always used to, like growing up in Edmonton, you're just like, oh fuck Calgary, right? So I'm sorry.
Kind of like,
I know, but it was all hockey related. Why?
Yeah.
And I didn't even care about hockey that much. Why was I so invested in that? I don't know. But now I just feel like we're all just this big musical family. Like we drive up to Edmonton to go see shows all the time. Because I love Edmonton, but and that now that we're part and parcel, and like we're kind of collaborating with Winterruption,
Right, yeah.
it's an amazing collaboration that we can get all these big bands, at like indie bands, that they just have the same sense of musical taste that we do, and it's
That's right,
such
yeah.
a great collaboration.
So
I
that's
just-
something,
yeah.
actually, to
That's
a question
brand
from
new.
before, you were
Yeah.
saying, like, what's a little bit different about this year? So this year we're actually collabing with Winterruption, which is, I think it's actually based out of Edmonton, but they put on,
I think it's based out of Winnipeg.
Is it
I'm not
Winnipeg?
positive.
not positive, it could be Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, Regina,
Anyway,
or
so the
Saskatoon.
Winterruption, like,
Yeah.
plays in Edmonton, and they also have like a festival, like, similar, like, with Big Winter Classic that they also do in Saskatoon.
Yeah, and Regina they
And
did
Regina.
last year. Yeah.
And so we are partnering with them, so we're like co-sponsors.
Yeah.
So a lot of the same bands that you would see at the Big Winter Classic, you would also see at Winterruption.
Yeah.
They're not all the same, but like there is some crossover, but this allowed both Edmonton and Calgary to get some really, really fabulous artists that we wouldn't have been able to get otherwise.
Exactly.
One of those being, who was like one of the bands, or one of the people, artists I'm most excited to see is Ezra Furman.
Oh, I know.
So I'm so stoked for
Yeah.
Ezra Furman. She is amazing, and they just, if you've never listened to their music, check them out. So you're hearing me use like different pronouns because they have recently like have come out and identified as transgender. So I was looking them up, and they use he, she, him, her. So they kind of flip flop with the pronouns. But that's another thing again about this particular year, that we have so much like diversity and like queer representation within the festival, that it's just so exciting. But Ezra Furman this year is coming, and we wouldn't have been able to have them play if we hadn't have collabed with Winterruption.
I thought you were most excited for D-Boy.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so talking about favorite bands, let's all share our faves.
Top three.
Top three. Oh, that's tough. Okay, top three that are like not from Calgary.
Yeah.
Ezra Furman for sure. Their song "Love You So Bad" and like "Calm Down," aka "I Should Not Be Alone" are like two of my absolute favorite songs by them. I'm losing my mind to see D-Boy play. Their whole album, it's Prove Your Love Live in Bedlam, it's crazy. Like,
I never took you to like that kind of music, so it's so funny that you have like this persona. I mean, but like deep down, you have like this crazy,
100%.
hardcore raps. Whatever. What are they?
Yeah, it's I want it loud.
Yeah,
Play it real loud.
Like it loud.
Yeah, so D-Boy's like nuts. They wear these like leather masks to like, and like they're like D-Boy Nation, and they're from the Western Canada as well. They're loud, they're in your face, they like rock so hard and so deep, and they wear ascots, and I live for it. And it's nuts.
I love ascots as well.
I mean, you can't go wrong with,
I know,
with
they're
an
just
ascot.
so slick.
Yeah, and then I think also.
And they're actually from Welland, Ontario.
Welland, yeah. I couldn't remember the name. So I was like, they're from the West.
Just ask me,
You like
I
that
got
sort of
that,
like dovetail around. I'm like, just the old song and dance around there.
Yeah.
Like they're Canadian, I know that. And then I'm also really excited for Paris Pick and the Pricks.
Yeah.
She's really, really cool.
When we were doing our listening party, like there's just certain, like everybody was amazing, that everybody's on the roster for a reason, but there's some of them are just like, whoa,
What's
hi.
that? Everyone stops and is like,
it's like, all right.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say she was one of those.
Yeah. So we do a listening party each year after all the submissions are in, and like just kind of get the whole team in, and we listen to everybody's music and just sort of like get to see like who resonates, what artists hit us, you know what I mean? And then we just have like a conversation about it. And then like we don't do all the booking, but it's like, you know, Adrian and wants the feedback, and then like it moves forward from there, and then he kind of like takes it and does his Adrian magic. Who are you really excited to see this year,
I'm
Mel?
super excited to see Weaves.
Yeah.
Really talking about like the funky soul, like but like indie rock, that band is just amazing. I absolutely love them. And Ron Gallo, because I fell in love with that. Like we saw him, I can't even remember the venue. It was like this back. Everything in Austin is just cool, but just seeing him, and he was just this one guy, and now he has like backing band, but like he's so amazing. He's just like, he's such a musical talent that I'm so glad that we were able to get him. I really like the Garys.
Yeah.
I was really into that surf rock when we
Yeah.
had,
2 years ago.
yeah. Who did we have?
Oh, like Guantanamo Baywatch.
And I just fell in love with Guantanamo Baywatch.
Also,
And so-
best name.
Yeah, I
So
know.
good, right?
And they're the coolest people, the nicest people. Bodega is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many that I'm excited to see, but
Same.
the Bobby Tenderloin has a little piece of my heart. I'm part of the Bobby Tenderloin universe.
You are. You're one of those. You're the star matter that fills the universe. It's good. Aren't we all?
Yeah. That's your favorite one.
Yeah, if I had to pick, mine are all going to be Calgary based
We can
bands.
talk about our Calgary.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm not super familiar with the out-of-town acts that are coming in, so I'm really excited to check some of those out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I Am the Mountain,
Yes.
I'm really excited to see them. They're one of my favorite local bands. Crooked Spies. Yeah. And I think Be Less in the Suede is playing.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
They're so good.
Yeah.
That's like definitely a standout memory for me last year too, as I caught the Be Less show and I was a wiggling.
Yeah,
we were
wiggling.
wiggling. Everyone was wiggling.
Yeah.
They're so funky. They
Yeah.
put on like such a wonderful show.
Yeah, I'm excited. And like when I was at summer school, we left just as that windstorm was coming in, so I didn't get to see them.
Oh,
So
Well, now's your
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah,
And I
I'm-
think
I'm looking forward to it.
they play on Sunday. If I'm pretty sure Be Less plays Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's just Broken City, or do we have Last Bass going on Sunday as well? It's free at Last Bass.
On Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
We might be doing. Well, last year we did like a free breakfast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
don't know
we're
if that's
doing that.
happening.
Yeah, don't take our
Yeah,
word
we
for
don't know if
that.
that's happening. Don't promise the people pancakes. They will be angry if they don't get them.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, local bands that I'm really excited for. I'm excited to see Be Less as well. Crystallize is really cool. I haven't seen them play in a while, and they do really like cool shoegazy stuff. Adequate. I was thinking about Adequate
Yeah.
because of the funk. Be Less. The Northern Coast would be really cool to see. They're a great local band as well.
Yeah.
And then I guess sort of local again, Bobby Tenderloin. They're like Alberta local.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's so many, like, I'm going through this, and like I love, and what is so nice is because of Big and because of just being part of the music scene, I've seen a lot of these people, right? And like, and just, I love all of them. There is a reason why they're on our roster. Like Aruba.
Oh, Aruba,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
yeah.
so fun. And D-Day Lewis is a new one that's coming out.
Yes.
Yeah,
We saw them
pretty
play at a
fun.
different festival.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Yeah,
Frogfest.
Frogfest.
Yeah,
They were great.
and there's like a diversity. Like we have Amy Nelson, who's kind of like a folk chanteuse, like a songstress. Is that
Chanteuse?
chanteuse?
Oh, for funk, I know. I think her name's Taylor.
Oh yeah,
Taylor. Well, not funk. Pardon me. She's like super R&B, soul, and I think they're a new. She's also in a new band, which is not in the festival.
Like Cody.
Cody,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like her, like I saw her play just recently, just like an acoustic set, and it was wonderful. So like kind of same thing that we were talking about, that soulful stuff is coming back into the city.
and we have Ricka Razorshot.
Ricka
coming
Razorshot.
back. He did a theme song for us last year, which was so cute.
He wrapped the full 2019 lineup
Yeah.
at the Big Bang. That
that's
was
right.
so
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I want to do it.
Yeah,
We were like, you don't have. He's like, no, I'm doing it. We're doing it. I'm doing it. Like, oh, it's just so cool.
yeah, they're just so many good bands. You have to come to the festival to actually see them. You could listen to us talking about it, but you have to experience them.
Yeah.
And even going on Spotify and stuff, like they sound so good, but nothing beats seeing a band live.
Yeah,
Like there's
nothing.
nothing that beats the energy that you get from the people around you and from the band itself. Just
Yeah.
you have to go, you have to come.
Yeah, really. And like, if you can, like, get the pass, come out.
And just explore,
Explore,
discover.
yeah, and you can just like pop around to the different venues. That's the most fun part. Just like have a whole bunch of beers,
Yeah.
or pop, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want to drink. Have some water, but like just bop around to the different venues. Like experience your city. Get
Yeah.
out there. Like you'll meet people.
Yeah.
You will meet people. You will make friends. Like you will make friends. Like you just,
Yes.
friendship. Let's all hold hands.
this is our family, and you can be part of the family too. And we also need volunteers. We're always looking for people to become part of the big family, and it's pretty fun.
It is, yeah. So right now we have a call for volunteers. You can go over to bigwinterclassic.com. Right on the top navigation, we have a volunteer button. Just click there, and there's some information there about the different areas that you can volunteer in. And you just basically fill out the form and submit, and come, join the big family.
Bring your creative juices.
Yeah, big fam.
Yeah.
Creative Jews.
Yay!
Yeah, and I guess just speaking from experience, once you kind of get involved with it, it's really hard to kind of not.
No, yeah, you're
on
for
that.
life.
Yeah.
We'll pull you in.
I was so excited, just like, I wonder when they're gonna release the full lineup. Like,
Yeah, and just to discover all those, and
Yeah.
again, like just so much talent.
Yeah, and even just us talking about the lineup here, there's so many bands that I forgot were even
know.
playing. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, awesome!
I
Like they're
know.
playing, and yeah, it's like again, you kind of touched on some of my favorite aspects of the festival. It's just wandering around and discovering your city, and I think like what Big Winter Classic does for Calgary and Calgary's arts community is just like invaluable. Like I've probably said already in this podcast, but
And I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I love that you love it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just exciting to find other people that are, stoked.
Yeah.
And like want to build a community more and like share the good word, if you will. Yeah. And so like
Baptized to the big fan.
baptized to the big fan. That's true.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And like we've got our cool venues that the primary ones that we know about. Again,
Yeah.
big Broken City, Last Best, and Inner City, and then we're gonna have again the Big Empty Space, which if you know, you know, and if you don't, you better find out. And then we have some secret spaces, which are going to be popping up with little mini shows in the same area, which we can't tell you where those are, but like there's so much to discover. There's so much to discover. So like, come out. Come to us.
BigWinterClassic.com. Come.
Do you guys get a lot of people kind of approaching you with creative ideas, wanting to be involved? And
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a little. I mean, they like. I don't get that email.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't get it. We'd have to ask Heather or Adrian.
Yeah, for sure. But I know like people always want to be involved. For
Yeah.
sure. Like people are excited. And, I think when you're putting positive, good energy out there, like people can feel that. And we've built a lot of really good relationships, and people want to continue to be involved. And I think the fact that we have a lot of these heritage people still involved in the festival, like Mo. who's
You
been
call
around.
me heritage?
You calling me heritage? You're a fine antique. Not like that. But people want to stay involved. They want to
Yeah.
continue to participate, and it's hard. You don't want to I was this year. I was like, well, I mean, obviously, I have to be involved.
I know.
The idea of not being involved makes my heart hurt.
I know. Yeah. It's become a little piece of us.
I mean, I felt the same way. I sent Adrian an email, and I was like, so how can I help?
Yeah.
Again
yeah,
this
exactly.
year.
I don't know exactly what I can do, but let me just help.
Yeah,
Let me do
like
something.
I would like to help. I would like to help. Whether if you don't need any media stuff, cool. Let me volunteer then.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
want to be involved, and it's cool that Big is that kind of community that it just you want to see it get better and better and improve it, and it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Just maybe I guess over all the bigs that you have been to, is there any really standout moment that was your favorite big moment?
Favorite moment.
I
of
want
a
to
few.
say shout out
Last
on the
year?
Sunday night.
Last year.
Last
Yes!
year.
Ditto!
Because we were all just had put so much blood, sweat, and tears into the festival that Sunday was our party night.
Yeah.
And we were sweaty sisters.
Yo, it was a situation.
It was a situation.
It was a situation. So it was. That's one of my favorite memories
Yeah.
too. So it's Sunday night during the festival. We don't actually the people working don't actually get to spend a lot of time with each other because we're ripping to the different venues. We're helping out with the volunteer stuff. We might be doing intake at the venues. It's nuts. You are hustling, but also enjoying the shows. But
Yeah.
you're working, and enjoying.
Yes.
But the last night it was the Octopus Project. played
Octopus
before.
Project. Oh,
And then the shout out. I always want to drop an out.
Yeah.
Play it, and we were all in one room together, and everyone just threw down and was just dancing their asses off. I mean, it makes me think of Willis because Willis he's one of the designers. He
Yeah.
doesn't always dance, but he was just cutting a rug.
Yeah. Did you see how sweaty Jay was? Oh,
He was super
sweaty.
He was super sweaty. But
slick.
and people we were all just it was a beautiful moment because we're all we're all drunk at this point, and we're and then we're all crying, we couldn't do it without each other. I love you, man. Oh my god, hugs, you're great. No, you're great. Oh, everything's great. Oh.
And then to top it off, there's broken karaoke right after, which is always a good time.
my.
You've got a beautiful voice. You have a beautiful voice.
Stop. Stop. That night was
It was good.
outrageous.
Yeah.
That was one for the books too. That one is
There's
special.
So many. There's so many.
Another one from last year too, just in terms of bands and stuff, I saw Shannon and the Clams
Oh,
play.
she was so good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, one of my favorite bands, like talking
Yeah.
about that sort of like
Holy Fuck is
surf
one for
rocks.
me. Seeing Holy Fuck. Oh, that was intense. It got so intense that we've never had to worry about security, but people were dancing so hard that there were some bigger guys that just kind of went up front and kind of took it upon themselves to kind of be like, okay, don't go dancing on the stage. And it was just nice to see the community just kind of take care of each other too. Like nobody was aggressive. They were just dancing so hard.
Yeah.
And Chad Van Galen, the Wet Secrets playing. Like, I don't know. We've just had so many good moments.
Shiverettes for me too. That's I think that's the first or second show. So that was 2 years ago. I saw the play, and in the Jerry Thomas space, and their show was like I was like jaw floor.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like
Melted Mirror.
They
in
were
the Thomas Gallery.
Yeah, he played right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a moment too. Like that was my first introduction to Big. Like I hadn't been before, so it was like I'm in the festival. I'm enjoying the art. I'm enjoying the artists, and like I just remember being like, I want to be a part of this. Yeah. I want to be a part of this. And then thankfully, a few months later, I was.
Okay. It's just that easy. You wish it and it becomes
Yes. Manifest.
Yeah, just put it
What
out
about
in the
you?
universe.
How about yourself?
Favorite moment?
Mm-hmm.
It probably there is a lot. Like it's hard to pick just one. Yonchen Gat was like really stand out for me.
because it was just so different.
It was just so different. I had like never really seen anything like that before with like the double guitar and just like
Yeah.
everybody surrounding him and like the lights. I can still remember it's like bluish
Yeah.
and then the indigenous singers came on and that was super
Darcy,
cool.
Yeah.
But then there was also Gone Cosmic and like I think it was Bad Buddy on Broken City's roof.
Buddy,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, that was such a good show.
Yeah.
I cut a rug that night. I was wiggling like crazy. Yes, we were there. We were at the show together. Yes, I feel
it
you.
was super awesome and just like again, just getting out there and like, kind of like exploring the city. I remember I had this very specific moment where I was walking between Last Best and the Palomino. And I was just kind of walking, and I may have or may not have been smoking a doobie, but I was just like looking up at like the skyline, I guess, and like the buildings, and I was like, this is just so cool that like we're right downtown, and there's all this cool music happening on the same night, and it's all so close, and it's just that was like a really cool moment for me. So
For sure.
yeah, but there's just so many cool memories from last year, and like the whole thing was neat for me. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're indoctrinated. If you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes me happy.
Come under
Yes.
the wing. I make it sound so weird.
I know. We're making it sound kind of cultish,
Yeah.
but it's not. No,
Not a call.
not really fully a cult. No.
Unless you want it to be a call.
Yes.
In which case, come join us.
It's only like low-key a call.
Okay, call. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any kind of just like final things that you guys do want to throw out there before we kind of wrap this up?
We love Calgary, and we love Calgary music and Calgary arts, and that's what this whole thing is all about.
Yeah. Building community, building up artists of all kind, bringing people together,
And having
Awesome
a
music in the-
good time.
good time, and awesome music in the middle of fucking winter. Yeah.
Rad shit all day.
Right shit all day. Cool shit all day.
Cool shit all
That's
day.
the hashtag
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
shit all
sorry,
day.
cool shit
Sorry
all
about
day.
that one, guys. I was just like,
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for coming down and taking the time to talk to me. This was lots of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, for
thank
sure.
you for having us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there was a cat roaming around the whole time. Loving it. But yeah, any opportunity to talk about cool shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for
Big
sure.
Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Head to bigwinterclassic.com.
Was that planned out? Like, and yeah, I'll have all the links in the episode notes. So if anybody is interested in volunteering or just getting involved in general, that'll all be in the episode notes. So it's really easy for people to find, and all the social media and stuff will be there too.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you liked this episode of the podcast, why not leave a review? You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. For up-to-date information on the podcast, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at Froggy Style Productions. That's Frog, the letter E, Style Productions. For more ways to support the show, visit fsproductions.ca.